Hello everyone, Keena Brown here with the Passive Income Collective. Thank you for joining me again for the third in our series of intro videos all about what the Passive Income Collective is about. Okay, so in the first video, I explained to you about the Passive Income Collective. I wanted to make sure that there were no misconceptions. We want to be completely transparent and not mislead anyone. And just to recap, we are not gurus, experts. We cannot teach you how to make $1 million in 7 days. That's just not our niche, okay? We are simply facilitators for this journey to help as many people as possible to activate multiple streams of passive income with the strategies and with the resources that we're curating for you. This is a passion for us. This is something that we are doing personally. We have personally challenged ourselves to do this. And there's just a few people that want to join us in this challenge. So that's putting it simply, that's what the Passive Income Collective is all about. It's just a group of like-minded entrepreneurs that have decided to team up and join forces to accomplish a common goal. In the second video, I explained to you what the challenge is. Let me summarize it for you really quick. The 30-day challenge is a reoccurring challenge that occurs every 30 days. It's really a monthly challenge, but we track for 30 days. So that's why we call it a 30-day challenge. Every month, we will introduce a new monetization strategy. We'll curate the information as well as resources to help our members to implement that strategy. And we're going to track all of the successes and failures so that we can leverage that information to do it right and to do it better the next month. Okay, so for more information about our 30-day challenge, definitely take a look at that video. I go more into detail, but I want to keep this really short and really sweet for you. I wanted to finish this series off by kind of like setting the foundation, helping you to have the right mindset as you enter into this challenge, as you join us in this journey, and give you some tips or my 7 keys to activating your organic passive income streams. Okay, so I'm always going to say activate, 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 because I truly and we believe that everyone has an asset, an organic asset. And when I say organic, I mean because it's not something that you purchased or invested in. It's not a tangible, physical, asset that you've acquired, but it's something that's personal to you. This doesn't mean that you were born with it. It can be acquired over time based on your experiences, things that you've learned, or it can be your a God-given gift. And we're going to talk about that really quick, pretty soon. But this is what I mean when I say activating, because activating what's already comes natural to you, or a talent or a gift or your purpose that you have already, is just a matter of figuring out a way to monetize what's already available. So you don't have to start a business, or you don't have to purchase real estate, or you don't have to put money in an investment account, or you don't have to do these things in order to generate passive income. And that's one of the myths that we're going to be debunking. Right along this journey, is that it's all about just monetizing what you already have, the assets that you already have. Okay, which is leads us right into key number one, which is know your organic God-given assets. You're going to need to do an inventory, and that's what that first phase. That's what we do in that first phase of this journey. Is before you go and investing, and sure, there's tons of things that you can do to shortcut your success by purchasing products or hiring someone. And we're going to talk about leverage. Generating passive income is all about leverage, leveraging your assets, leveraging your time, leveraging your money, leveraging other people and other people's time and other people's assets and other people's money. So we're going to talk about leverage. But the first thing you want to do is you want to understand, what do you have to leverage? What's your passion? What are your skill sets? What knowledge do you have on what topics? Gifts, talents, connections, and relationships. When I talk to clients, or even people in my network, they're like, well, what do you mean about connections? Like, how can I monetize my connections? Well, let me give you an example really quick. If you have a contact or Rolodex that's filled with dentists, from your job, or, because your husband's a dentist or whatever. There are people that want to get in front of dentists. There are products and services that dentist needs. There's ways that you can monetize that. Or if you know realtors and mortgage brokers, those are connections that can be made, and you can monetize that by having events, by getting sponsors for those events, things. So there's different strategies that we're going to be talking about to help you to monetize your assets. Okay. Key number two, know your audience. What do or who do you want to serve? This is very important for two reasons, several reasons, but two reasons that I'm going to cover on this video. Number one is because you want to make sure that your messaging, you want to make sure your offer, your product, your services is it's targeted, especially when you're starting out. It's just easier. And also, if you're trying to serve everyone, not only is it a pain, right, for you personally, but also no one feels like you are serving them because you're trying to serve everyone with your messaging and everything, right? So your conversions are lower. I mean, there's just several reasons why that will work against you. And then also for you, to make your life and your job more enjoyable, you want to make sure that you're working with people you actually enjoy working with. There are certain personalities that you might not gel with, that might not be enjoyable for you to work with. So you want to know who those people are, so that you actually enjoy what you do. Also, where do they hang out? Offline, online, forums, groups, networks, events they go to. How do you get in front of them? Where do they look for solutions or products or things like that? What are their interests and dislikes? This is will also help you to find out where do they hang out. What problems do they have? Because whatever service or product you're going to be offering, it's going to either solve a problem or fulfill a need. So you want to know what those needs and what those problems are. What keeps them up at night? Like, this is a good question because, just because they have a problem or a need, you want to make sure that it's something that there's some kind of sense of urgency around. Something, and keeps them up at night. It doesn't mean that it's a negative. It can, I daydream sometimes. When I'm excited about something, I can't sleep, right? So if it's a problem or if it's a need, like, you want, what's something that they think about, that they'll jump on an opportunity to get a solution to, or to get fulfilled. And then also, what makes them laugh? Like, this is a question that I like to ask. I have a sales background, and this answer, knowing the answer to this question, it helps you with building rapport. It helps you with putting together your messaging, social media strategy, several things. So, there's just there's a checklist that we'll be sharing with you along the journey to help you to understand who your target audience is. And then also, we're bringing in a subject matter expert to share some information on a webinar to help you to hone in on your target audience as well. Okay. Key number three, a problem that you can solve or a need that you can fulfill. So once you understand who your target or your target audience, your ideal customer is, then you want to figure out what is one or two problems that you can solve or a need that you can fulfill with your assets, right? With your skills, with your knowledge, a product that you can develop. You want to make sure that you can do something for that audience. Because if you say, okay, I enjoy working with, dentists, but there's not a problem that you have the ability to solve or a need that you have the ability to fulfill for dentists, what's the point? Unless you're going to outsource something that someone else does or whatnot. But you need to know what that problem is, and know that there is a solution to the problem. Because if you can't solve it, then there's no way to monetize it. Okay. Number four, a solution. Then you need to identify a solution to offer that your audience will pay you for. Okay. So even if you have your ideal client or customer, even if you identify a problem that they have, if you don't have a solution that they will pay you for, then what, you're not in the business of just giving things away, right? I have to remind myself of that sometimes. You have to make sure that it's high enough on their priority list that they'll actually spend money, or that you can monetize on in the back end. Okay. Number five, a plan and a process. You need a plan, you need a process in order to make the income stream a passive income stream, because this, and we'll talk about this, but it's all about automation. It's all about leverage, it's all about delegating. And I read somewhere, or heard someone say that if you're having trouble delegating, it's probably because you don't have a plan. Because how can you delegate someone to something, a task to someone, if you don't know what needs to be done? How can you automate something um, if you don't know what what the process is for for completing a task or accomplishing that goal, right? You have to have a plan and you have to have a process in order for you to turn it into a passive income stream. Number six, then you need a system and you need to automate it. System and automation. Okay, you're never going to have an income stream that is 100% passive, but if you have a good system in place and you automate a part of that system, then you can get it really close. You can get it to like 90%. But let's just keep in mind, like, passive income is all about putting in work in the front end to set it up. Whether, and the type of work varies. You might have to invest a lot of money in the front end, or you might, if you're building a house, you have the construction work in the front end. Or if you're renting property, then you have the task of finding the property and fixing it up, right? Like, there's work you have to do in the front end. Okay, and then it's passive because there, you don't have to work as hard to maintain that income stream in the back end. Okay, so with a system and with automation, then even that makes the work that you have to do, the maintenance work, minimal for you. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. And then number seven, back end monetization strategy. So you want to make sure that you are activating, like, with even within one passive income stream, you want to make sure that there are other back end, upsells and downsells and cross sells, other monetization strategies. Once you get that first client, you want to make sure that there's a follow up monetization strategy, because not every passive income stream is going to be a reoccurring or subscription based income stream, right? So with the reoccurring subscription base, like that, there you can guarantee a certain amount of income, from a client for a certain number of months. We'll talk about memberships and subscription models and things like that along the way, but so that's more of a consistent, like, reoccurring income. But then sometimes you'll have a product that sold one time per client, right? And so with back-end monetization, then you can continue to follow up with them to turn that into more of a recurring income stream. So these are the seven keys of passive income. Number one, know your assets. Number two, know your audience. Number three, a problem that you can solve. Four, a solution to that problem that can be sold. Five, a plan and a process. Number six, a system and automation. And number seven, a back-end monetization strategy. Okay, so that's it. I hope that this information was very valuable. These are the seven keys to activating your organic passive income streams. So go ahead and wrap this up. Be sure to join us for our 30-day passive income challenge so you can activate your first or your next passive income stream to your success. You guys have a great day.